The retired wolves generally rest comfortably unless there's some activity in the exhibit pack, and we've been seeing a little bit of activity in the exhibit pack. As we said earlier, there's no real established male dominant role yet. They're kind of working it out. We are seeing some interesting behaviors from Aidan. Aidan's been doing a lot of four-leg stabbing, social engagement, and a lot of kind of interacting, wanting to be next to Maya, doing parallel gating, which means basically running shoulder to shoulder. We've also noticed him doing a lot of ground scraping. There's two different things that this means. Ground scraping, kind of excitability, want to interact and want to be part of the social group, but a little intimidated. But also it means, a little bit more confidence. Scraping the ground after urination is a marking behavior, and so we are seeing quite a bit of that coming from Aidan. And Aidan's doing a lot of following behavior of Maya, and that's also another real sign of social engagement. Denali continues to be the investigatory wolf that he's been since he's a pup, whether it be frogs or bugs or something. He's always kind of checking things out and seeing if he can find something to occupy his time. Grizzer has been a little bit still aloof, kind of staying back in the woods a bit, but he does just starting to interact more, and then we expected, on our experience, it's been 5 to 6 weeks typically before a wolf kind of deals with any kind of separation anxiety issues or any transitional change issues. And so we're seeing Grizzer right now coming through with a T2 tail and looking very relaxed. Actually, his photo in the wolf logs this week is a kind of a big old grin, which is a facial expression of a fairly relaxed wolf. So that's been a good change this week. And this is Grizzer on the greeting rock, just being kind of what we call it a pose. That's just basically when a wolf stands tall and is alert to what's going on, kind of checking things out. And Grizzer is, again, a little more responsive to what goes on in the retired pack than probably some of the other wolves. One interesting behavior we also observed this week, which was unique, is this is Denali picking berries. These are cherries, and at first we thought he was just kind of playing with leaves, but he's actually picking the berries and eating them. And it was quite timely to observe this behavior in captivity, because in the wild we had a research practicum this past week, and in the wild we started seeing some scats, wolf scats with berries in them, clearly signs of wolves in the wild also having a sweet tooth. So kind of a timely observation. And we'll see Aidan and Maya actually join in this behavior. Back in retirement, things are going well. Again, Shadow's a lower weight, which was probably, again, a stress response to the last months in the exhibit pack, is being addressed by feedings every day. We are giving him anywhere from as much as he wants every day, usually about 5 pounds of either chicken or beef. And we do see both males raised leg urinate, so they both, again, are very comfortable with their status. Seeing a lot of ground scraping by Shadow, again, just broadcasting that scent and making his presence known. And there are certain parts of the pen that are going to have some vegetation issues because he has scraped the ground down to near zero. And we'll deal with that as time goes on. We usually do a lot of vegetation work in the retired pack. But one thing that we did notice is, again, this clip here shows Malik extremely excited and kind of a running excited when there's a chase game going on in the exhibit pack. And his tail posture is very high there, very excitable. And that's a good stimulus for them. You can see Shadow pretty much more interested in wolf care staff than he really is about Malik. And because those two had different roles when they were in the exhibit pack, they're going to respond differently to activity there. Malik was a lower ranking wolf, and so chase scenes were usually about him, meaning that he was the one being chased. And so when there's chase going on in there, his likely response is to kind of run with them. But he's keeping his tail extremely high, so that means he's real confident to run. It's a lot easier to be confident to run when you've got three chain link fences separating you from the exhibit pack. But it's good stimulus for him. Again, Shadow, as a dominant leader, he didn't involve himself in much of the chasing of the lower ranking wolves in the exhibit pack, so he's more likely, as a retired wolf, to just stand there and watch. So we do see, again, the retired wolves resting a lot, using the den. We're putting sprinkler systems on them during the warmer parts of the day. They do have their own pond that they readily use. It's about a 750-gallon pond, and we do clean that every couple of weeks. They like to drink out of it, even though we have a separate water that we maintain every day. Drinking out of the pond seems to be a more favorite thing. So we keep that in mind, and like I say, we clean that every couple of weeks, so it's good, not a problem for them to drink out of it. But other than that, the retired wolves are doing good. Shadow's eating every day. Malik's getting a benefit of that because he steals a little bit of food, but we make sure that Shadow gets plenty to eat, and we hope to weigh him in a couple of weeks. And here's a clip of Malik doing a raised leg urination. What's interesting is Malik still has a very long urination pattern, and that was fairly characteristic of lower ranking wolves not wanting to be obvious about marking, so they didn't mark as frequently, that when they went with longer periods. You can see Malik scraping the ground and showing confidence. What's interesting is Shadow comes up behind him, and we thought Shadow was going to overmark as a sign of dominance, but he doesn't. So again, that means that Shadow's not portraying that much dominance over Malik. They're really kind of coexisting, both pretty much equal status right now.